Hey guys, so let's play with Bakasana. So we're going to start with Bakasana and we're going to work our way all the way to crow to handstand. So if you're more of a beginner, you'll stick with the Bakasana. If you're looking for that, of course, that more advanced stuff, you can work your way to the end of this class. It's not going to be super long, but I like to include something for everyone. So things that I like to include. Have a strap, okay? This is just any old strap. It can be a yoga strap. I just happen to have this one right now. It's kind of a fitness strap. Have a more of a harder block and then a softer block, okay? And a yoga mat. So let's get started. All right, so we're gonna come to the yoga mat. We don't have tons of time, so we're gonna just stretch out a little bit, all right? So coming to hands and knees, pause, plant those palms. Let's do a little cat-cow, open the heart, and then curl and round. Now rounding is key. Inhale, open, curl and round. One more time, inhale, and then round. Come to a flat back. Let's tuck the toes. Let's shift all the way up to downward facing, spreading fingers and toes. Look back between the feet. Make sure you're breathing. Pedal out those feet. Engage the core. Hollow out the belly. Stretch the shoulders. Anything you need to do in your downward facing to get warmed up. All right, now let's shift all the way to plank. Squeeze. And then back to downward facing. Again, plank, downward facing. One more plank. And let's take a chaturanga. So we're gonna lower all the way down and then all the way up for an upward facing. Strong legs. Hollow out the belly, roll over the feet. Let's do one more. Shift, squeeze. Look forward, bend those elbows. Let's roll over the toes. Up and scoop it back. Start to walk the feet in. Go ahead and grab the elbows. Feel the length. Shift side to side. Maybe hands on the back of the neck. Release the fingers, open the chest, and let's bend the knees. Rise all the way up. Maybe separate the legs. Look up. Lace up the hands. Open the heart. And start to shift forward, fold. Okay. Maybe pedal out the legs. And then release. All right, let's stretch the fingers and wrists. So turn the wrists backward or fingers backward, stretching the wrists. Maybe a little malasana stretch. Fold. Stretch again, malasana, fold. And then one more. Pause and malasana. Okay, left arm reaching in front of the knee. Right arm up, switch. And let's take a little wrap. And then switch. Left hand back. And release. All right, straighten the legs. Let's walk in. Let's slide the hands under the feet. This pose is called Hastasana. Nice and working on that compression. All right, and then slowly release. Any last little stretches? We're gonna get started. So come onto your more solid block. Place the block flat. Go ahead and step on top of the block. Hands in front, spread fingers, push into the knuckles. Let's start by lifting the heels a couple times. Scoop, drop, scoop. Again, drop the heels and then scoop it up. Lift the heels. Now, pause for a moment. We're gonna tuck the knees up into towards the armpit. Ready? So the idea is the arms are going to straighten and shift shoulders shift forward a little bit. All right, so knees on the arms, shift the weight, and then see if you can lift the toes a little bit. If you need to do one toe first, that's fine. And curl up, and then release. Woo, good job. Fold, and again, stretch the wrists as needed, roll them out. All right, hands down. And remember, scooping out the belly, knees high up on those armpits. Shift the weight forward. Curl, and curl those toes up. And release. So I want to say this. So for me, I have pretty tight wrists. So that angling forward, which is key for this pose, it's intense. So you want to always stretch out the wrists. You want to try to work towards straight arms. Now, a lot of times you'll start off with bent, and then that is fine, okay? Eventually work towards a straight arm if you can, especially if you're going to start pressing up to the handstand, okay? So a little bend in the arms is completely fine. So now set that block aside. Keep bringing your other block. Just kind of put it in front in case you want to protect your head from falling forward, all right? So shift the weight. Try to keep the arms pretty straight, knees on the back of those arms. All right, now we're gonna lean the weight forward. Curl the toes up, okay? Shift back, a couple more times, it's that easy. Scoop, knees on. Try to keep the arms relatively straight. Shift forward and curl those toes up. Okay, they will bend a little, that's fine. You can kind of play around with both. And then shift down. All right, now we're gonna take the block away. So a lot of times you'll see, like on Instagram, truly the prettiest ones, Bakasanas, are when you see people with really pretty straight arms. For some reason, it just looks the best, okay? You've also seen people do it on fingertips. That's even more beautiful when that's hard. All right, so now, no block. Shift the weight again. Lean forward. Remember, knees high up on those arms. And curl, like scooping the belly in. And start to angle the arms, and you shift forward. Curling the toes up. Okay? Breathe. And then come down. I will say the wrist gets so beat up here, so let's stretch them. Stretching those wrists. All right, so for lack of time, we're gonna now go towards the headstand. So we're gonna move quickly. So headstand, guys, roll the front edge of the mat up to give your head a little bit of protection. All right, so same setup. The elbows will bend to go down to the headstand, okay? So you can start with bent or straight arms. Try to work towards straight at first. Knees on the arms. Start to shift the weight. Curling those toes up. And then gently bend the elbows. Crown of the head to the floor. Scoop it up. Okay? Find your balance here. Figure out what feels right. Point the toes. Now we're coming back. Knees together, toes together, heels together. They'll separate now, okay? Now round. Pause. You want to curl the toes up so you don't drop the feet. And slowly roll towards the nose. Now start to lift and sit in your Bakasana. You see how it's lower. It's okay. So the lower is tricky. So most of the time when you come down from a headstand, your knees are going to be more on the outside. It's just really tricky to get them back here, okay? You'll notice it when you do it. So again, for lack of better time, we have to move on. Now we're going to start to work towards that Bakasana lift off to handstand. However, we're going to do the negative. I suggest you work on having a solid handstand first before you even go here. So stick with Bakasana and the headstand. The headstand builds the strength and the core work for the lift off to handstand. All right, so let's work the negative. We're gonna do handstand down to crow, all right? My suggestion is if you have a strap, use it. If you don't, it is fine. You don't necessarily need one, all right? So I'm setting the mat back out. I'm putting my strap on, all right? I'm moving quickly for this tutorial. All right, hands are down and my strap is just above the elbows, all right? Floating, I suggest do a tuck up. To me, it mimics what we're working on, okay? So find that straight line first. Tuck, curl those toes, scoop up to the handstand. Really push out of those shoulders, squeeze the butt, point the toes. All right, now we want to start pulling in. So knees together, everything together. Pause here. Now go ahead and separate the knees a little bit. Shift forward, round, and land slowly. All right, step it down. So you'll see it takes, you have to work really, really slow and control it to come down. So we're gonna do one more. All right, this time I'm gonna do it without the strap because the strap's not the greatest. All right, so you can also work kind of going halfway down and back up. Nice way to control and work the control. All right, shifting the weight, bend, curl up. Find your line. Maybe work a couple little tuck-ins. Shift, scoop up. All right, now let's come down. Start with the knees together and then begin to separate the knees. Keep pushing out of the shoulders and the fingers. Keep the arms straight. And land. All right? And yes, the elbows bend. If you see mine, they bend like a little bit. Okay, so like I said, for lack of a better time, we have to move on. Stretch out those wrists. There's nothing that gets these more. I see the only other thing that gets wrists more is Crocs. Okay, so starting to work the crow to handstand. My suggestion is for crow to handstand, I would use a strap. And again, some people hate them. It's totally your choice, but I think it gives you that extra a bit of oomph to get up. All right. So if you're using a yoga strap, you want to have it snug, okay? But you want to also be able to get the shoulders back. Okay. So here we go. Hands down. And now here we go. So the idea is using the strap, curl up. Same concept of everything we did earlier. Knees on the arms, scoop in. Maybe walk the hands back a little bit, all right? And then the idea is you want to get the hips over the arms. And you curl up and shift. Shift back, curl it in, push, and back on. All right, so I know that I make it look easy, and the truth is it took me years and years and years and years, and sometimes I don't even feel like my Bakasana and handstand is any good, or it kind of fails. So this strap is a huge help. So we're gonna do it one more time. Just remember, everything stays tight like a ball, toes curl up, and you wanna let the head go down. So don't be afraid to drop the head. Even if it falls a little bit, you can roll the front edge of the mat up, okay? So I'm gonna do that too, so you can see. Roll the front, even double it up if you're nervous, okay? All right, here we go. Hands down. Ready? Belly scoops, legs up, heels up, knees on the arms. Remember, have the hands pretty close to the feet, a lot closer than you think. Get ready to scoop up. And shift up. All right, release, curl it in. And land. All right, so let's talk about no strap. Now, again, I learned with one, so I suggest you learn with one. Let's try it without. Okay, so when I do it without, I make sure my hands are really close to my feet. And it's slightly cheating, but, and then the other thing is, remember, you want to have the arms as straight as possible before you go up. Because otherwise, that bench arm strength is like for like crazy strong calisthenic dudes, right? We're strong yogis, but we work with straight arms. So we want to try to get that bend out of the arm. So coming down here, no strap. What should we do? All right, so let's shift the knees high up in the armpit. Let's walk the hands really close to the feet. Really, really, really close. Okay? Elbows hug in, toes curl up. Ready? And scoop. Back in, round. Okay. So, I have been, sometimes people will be like, oh, your Bakasana handstand is kind of cheating. You're not really holding the Bakasana. You're kind of just floating up, almost like a press with the knees tucked. And if that's how you have to start to get that feel, it's fine. There's no competition saying that someone, and if someone looks at you and says, you're not holding the Bakasana first, tell them to mind their own business and you're working your way, okay? So let's do that again. Again, to hold that heavy Bakasana with the knees on is hard. You just think light, all right? Just think in the mindset of you're like floating up, right? So knees on, tuck and scoop them in. Hands really close to the feet, elbows hugging in. And start to curl. Try to straighten those arms. And curl up. All right? Push up. And then curl down. Okay? Whew. And I do want to say there is one other way that I've seen people do it. It's that whole toe tap to the wrist thing. And I will show you that one, but I think it's got some pluses and minuses. One, it's great because you're getting upside down. The only thing that I don't love about that one is that you're not curling the toes up, which is kind of what you need from Bakasana. So it's kind of teaching you to drop the feet first and then go up, kind of almost like a press. But again, like if that's how you learn, of course you're gonna do it that way, and that's fine too, right? There's so many different ways to learn. I'll show you that one, and I'm gonna roll my mat out, I think, for that because I need space. And if you love it, try it, all right? So for that one though, the knees need to be pretty high up on the arms because I always feel like my legs are too long, all right? So shifting the knees on, okay? I'm gonna lean forward, curl those toes up. And then I'm gonna tap my wrists and scoop up and squeeze, all right? And then shift back in. Maybe you can work the reverse, the opposite way here, rounding. All right, and shift down. So you can see with that one that you have to have enough clearance, so the knees have to be really high up in the arms so you can tap the wrists and to go up. It's a great way just to kind of just get that concept of floating up. Like I said again, the only thing I don't like about it is the toes, instead of going straight up, they're doing this detour. They're going down and up, okay? So play with it, have fun with it, and always work the negative. Like I think that's the most powerful one, handstand, lower to crow. Now, if you can do handstand, lower to crow and back up, you're amazing. All right, so have fun and feel free to message me with questions.